Someone said Josh is wrong about this. Well, you know, I'm not.
Can you imagine if the world population doubles again in 28 years from 1990? In other words, in the year 2018, the world population doubles. And we're having problems with food supplies and timber and clean water and clean air now. And then after that, it doubles again in another 24 years. That's why they created AIDS. Because they didn't want to have to go around the world and say, you, and you up against the wall, you've got to die today.
Do you guys want to hear a hot take? I might get some shit for this, but I don't care. Do you want to hear a really hot take? I think some of you will probably agree with me. This would never happen, but I think people should have to apply for the right to have a baby. Dead set. Because there are some adults, in fact, I would say that most of the adults who breed profusely, who apparently don't have a TV or any other interests other than breeding, they're generally the ones that probably shouldn't have children. This is just something I've noticed. Having a kid, raising a child is like it's the greatest like privilege and responsibility there is, right? To bring a human being into this world, to teach them the ways, to show them the correct morals and how to live and how to be a good person. That's a big responsibility. And people are just sending it. The kind of people who you would like, you know, not want to sit next to on a bus are just pumping them out. Get an application form. They forward them to me. I'll be the judge. Yo, if you're enjoying this clip, make sure you subscribe below and head on over to the main channel if you want to watch the full replay of this video. You might even be able to catch one of the streams live one time and get involved in the chat as well. All the links you need will be down below. What the fuck, eugenics, Josh? I don't know what eugenics is, unfortunately, so I can't comment on that. Is my theory eugenics? Is that what you're saying? I think we'd probably have a lot less issues in the world if, you know, the people you would avoid on public transport would stop just rampantly breeding. It would probably make society a little bit more less chaotic.
Okay, Naomi.
Cat Simpson says, who was into eugenics? Was it Hitler? Oh, fuck. Ah, shit. Here we go. Someone with an explanation. Thank you very much, Joker Vegas. Says, eugenics is choosing the best genes to breed. That's one extreme. On the other hand, having no controls is another extreme. I'm not saying choose who can breed. I'm saying make a minimum skill level. Yeah, it is absolutely a skill issue. Never go full Hitler. Bro, I don't know. I don't think this is Hitler at all. I think this is just kind of common sense. Space Explorer says, I'm disgusted by the child application policy Josh is pushing. This is a free democracy. We need freedom, not a 1984 style Big Brother overreach. Bad idea. Look, first of all, I don't actually have a policy that I'm pushing. I'm not trying to be your president. All right. Just relax. This is just my opinion. What I'm saying is to raise a human being, it's like the biggest and greatest responsibility on earth, because that person you raise, how you raise them, is going to contribute to what the world is, how the world is. So if you've got people with no like morals, low values, then these people are creating multiple more of them, and you're basically amplifying a lower vibration into the world. So it's not just about money, but I think it's a tough one to put an exact label on, because I think it's a few things. But I will say that I think just like an open breeding policy is not healthy. Someone said it earlier. It's the other end of extreme. No control is not a good idea, I don't think. And by the way, there are countries that have this. Like, this isn't like some brand, like, I'm pretty sure, actually, I think they changed it, but China did have a 1 or 2 child policy. which I guess isn't the same as an application, but there's at least rules in place to stop people just like sending kids. Look at the issues there are in the world. And I mean, I want to hear what you guys think here. Do you think when things aren't going well, the best solution is to throw more of the thing in that is creating the problem? It seems like it is done recreationally in some areas. And these kids end up just going on and like a lot of the time will end up in jail or, you know, like addicted to substances, and it's not their fault. Like it's not the kid's fault. That's what I'm saying. These kids don't have a choice. They're being brought into this life where, you know, you hear like sometimes people are having kids just for the government benefits of it. Like that's disgusting. That's horrible. These are the people that would fail the permit application if I was in charge. But, you know, decent human beings, good people who want to take care of their kids and give them a good life, absolutely. But that isn't always the case, unfortunately. Get rid of crappy behavior, exactly. But I mean, that's obviously easier said than done. But it's hard to do when the population just keeps skyrocketing too. Like it's hard to fix the world when it's growing at like a rampant rate, I think. Like if you just took that kind of situation to any sort of other regular science experiment where you're trying to get like something that's unstable under control. Let's think of it like this as an experiment, right? You've got a few like chemicals that you're trying to mix together and you're trying to find the right balance. You've got like people, you've got like the economy, you've got like energy systems, like fossil fuels and things like that, right? And at the moment, it's really out of balance and there are people living in poverty. Energy is like ridiculously expensive or it should be free. So you're trying to figure out this balance and you're trying to like meticulously work out what is the best way to do this. Meanwhile, your assistant just keeps dumping in humans. And it's like, bro, please just stop for a second. Let me get this under control and work out how this is going to work cohesively so everyone can live together harmoniously. And then once we have it under control, then you can start dumping in more humans at a just obscene rate. But right now, shit is chaotic and I need to try and fix it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Someone said Josh is wrong about this. Well, you know, I'm not. And that's just because I'm not wrong because it's just an opinion, right? You can't be wrong about an opinion. You just don't agree with me. And that's okay. Like I said, it's a hot take. I know that. But I'm not wrong. It's just my opinion. Yes, it's an awful take, and you're entitled to that opinion. I'm not going to sit here and say, that's wrong. Nia Evans, you saying that is an awful take is wrong. Of course it isn't. It's just your opinion, and that's okay. How and who can enforce this? Well, I haven't thought about it that far. This is just Josh Polarity's eugenics policy that I kind of came up with on the spot. Despite people saying that I'm Hitler, this isn't something that I've planned. I'm not actually intending to implement this. Yosa says you'll make a great dad, Josh. Thank you very much. And I feel like some people in the chat might think you're being sarcastic, but I don't think you are. Because at the end of the day, this hot take, apparently, comes from the fact that I actually think raising a child is like the greatest privilege and responsibility that there is. And that, you know, you should earn that. But that's just my opinion.